Yes, so thank you to everybody. Cheers to everybody on the channel. New people have joined. Cheers, welcome to the channel. Thanks for all your support. Just want to give you a cheers, a nice drink. I'm a local pub. Just thank you very much. Cheers everybody. Cheers, thanks for your support and comments, this bits and pieces and stuff, whatever. Like I say, I'm going to upload a video, a bit controversial in some respects, but it's something I wanted to say for a while actually, but to get my message across. Of course, obviously it's just about the BBC becoming licence free. Of course, it's other things you can talk about, present things and stuff like that, you know. So thanks again, cheers everybody, and thanks very much. Bye. Welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new, you're welcome. Today, it's a beautiful day for a sunny drive out in the car or something. Or today I'm with my great friend, Kato today. He's on a dogging spot. Dogs, you know, where we go for a walk with the dog, have a chat, and you know, that's what you do when you're on a dogging walk. Yeah, wanted to talk about one or two things. One or two new people to the channel. Welcome everybody to the channel, and we want to become license free with Inspector C. Thank you again, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel and becoming license free by ringing up and getting your 2-year exemption. Yeah, I was going to just do an introduction about the forthcoming one or two things with the new trial of Alex Belfield. What I think about it the last week. Obviously it's a week gone by, the first week of his ordeal, and of course he's given a documentary of the day's proceedings each day. And like I said, it's interesting, and it is very brave of him to want to try and defend himself, because watching the reports from Alex, it's quite a complicated case, and I'm glad he's got some special advisory lawyer with him. What do you say, Kato? Yes, because you need somebody experienced to do the best for you. I mean, if you're capable of doing things and finding things out about things, all well and good, but to represent yourself, it's a brave thing. I mean, I've been through 2 court cases myself, well, court or tribunals, through industrial tribunals with companies, which I'm not allowed to talk about anymore because I won both cases, and I had to defend myself through ACAS, that kind of stuff, and tribunals basically. It's still a court case, and it is quite draining to get your results that you want, because you have to go through every detail. It's not easy. I mean, I'm lucky I had the right on my side, because I was wrongfully dismissed basically in the 2 particular cases. I was companies, blue chip companies, big companies, similar to the BBC, of course, that kind of company, had their own set ways, and they wanted to try and get rid of me for wrongful dismissal, misconduct, whatever they want to call it, and I eventually won the case. But anyway, I digress in a moment about the situation there. As I said, he's a brave man, but once you've got the right on your side, you know that you're not doing anything wrong. It tends to inspire you to get the justice that you require, because if you're innocent or feel that you've been hounded or wrongfully accused of something, or think something's not what they are saying, it's got you a day in court like Alex has got. And of course the same thing what they did with Cliff Richard, the BBC, where they harassed Cliff Richard. He had to have a day in court. to clear his name and stuff like this, and to sort of get compensation, £2 or £3 million off the BBC. And of course, again, the Bashir thing, you know, this other guy, this other journalist got compensated recently who was a whistleblower. So the BBC have got a track record, of course, as you know, obviously even more so with the Jimmy Savile and Stuart Hall and all the rest of it, all the other things, Rolf Harris, God knows, all the people that worked at BBC in them particular times when these allegations were against them for all kinds of behaviour. And it's a sad thing. That's why I'm on this channel, to point out that what they did to Cliff was, to me, was absolutely tremendously bad. How they try to get a story. Obviously the Bashir thing was another pack of lies they told Diana. All these things and other paedophiles like Savile, how they covered up for him. So they've got a track record of BBC. And of course, after that Cliff Richard thing, I'd had enough. I'd had a complete enough of watching anything to do with the BBC. I was just totally against them in some respects. Not saying that everybody's like that, don't get me wrong. You know, there's some good people that work at the BBC, like any place there is. But it made me say, right, that's enough. And as I say, I became licence free. That's another story. I became licence free. And that's what you have to do, folks, if you don't agree with something, and the way they bully people, the way they harass people to pay your TV licence. So the organisation, totally, to me, is completely wrong, you know, how they spend your money and waste it all. And as I said, Alex was one of the people who pointed this out to people working for the press and journalists, and like I said before. So I said that was the premise of this video, is just to sort of say, well, whatever happens in the next few weeks, I mean, it's got to be sorted out, whichever way it looks. And it's hard to say at the moment till the next few weeks has gone into to operations, to see where things go, because at least I'm happy really that he's getting a day in court. And like I said, he may be guilty of one or two things, he may not be guilty, I don't know. Whatever, it will be decided by people, 12 people. And that's what you go to court for, have your peers to, people to, you know, get the truth. And that's what we're all doing, folks, is the truth. You know, I mean, how that trial with the Cliff, sort of aged Cliff over so many years, it really took a lot out of him, performance-wise and everything else. He was really, and it's unforgivable. In my eyes, it's just unforgivable what they did. It was just a great icon, great star. And the BBC just tried to crash out on a story that they accused him of something before they had any proof whatsoever. And I don't really want to go into too much detail, but that was one of the things that really upset me. And like I said, things need to change. I mean, companies need to move on and change, and of course the BBC, in my opinion, needs to be defunded of what they've got now, go to a subscription situation like Netflix, and of course become a company, a media company run by media people, not by politicians and ex-politicians or ex-people working for the government. It's just job for the boys and on a gravy train of public money. And you know, the director generals over the years, the last 10 years, have all been people who haven't got a clue how to run a company. Haven't got a clue, really haven't. And they just tried to do things, but they just hadn't got an idea, really, truthfully, how to run a company. You know, make the BBC what it is. They try to do too much in some respects, but like I said, that's all in the past, and the mistakes they've made and stuff like this, you know, they've wasted money and done things and stuff like this, all these kind of things. And it's time it has to be moved on, and that's why hopefully anybody who's watching this have your own opinions, leave a comment, do what you want to do with the Subscribe if you wish, to help me out to get my message across, because once you become license free, you've got 2 years of exemption from this payment of your £160, and that should be a good thing, you know, to save you a bit of money this time of year. But of course, you haven't got to watch any live television anymore. You can only watch catch up, unfortunately, which is another ruling which is we've got to sort out when this new charter comes up. But obviously now this new government and Boris is, you know, messed up, completely messed up everything. I mean, he was no great fan of the BBC, Boris, but of course now that's out the window, of course. And I mean, Daft Doris in charge of it, I mean, she was completely useless anyway. So things will have to change with this new government. So the charter's not going to change till 2027. So it's you out there, the public, to become license free like myself, and just cancel your license, bring them up, or go on the website, whichever you want to do, whichever you prefer to do, and just tell them, I'm not watching, I'm not paying, and that's all you have to do, folks. And you'll get your 2-year exemption. And you'll learn that there's other things you can watch, catch up. Like I told you, you don't really need to watch BBC programmes, really. 1 or 2 good programmes, don't get me wrong, there's 1 or 2 good programmes I do miss. But I'm able to watch it other places, you know. I mean, this is why I say YouTube is a fantastic platform, because most of the stuff, any news or some even programs that get dished out on back onto Netflix or back onto YouTube somewhere. So anyway, folks, that's my message anyway. But like I said, it's to be interesting to find out how this case goes on with Alex, and I'm just not saying anything about it, or I'm just getting the reports like everybody else does. We all get the reports like you get in a newspaper. It's just a report from the court, and it's hard work for Alex. I do sympathise with him, what he has to go through, because I've been through 2 trials myself with companies, and I won both of them, but surprisingly, because I stood up for myself, and I said, right, I'm in the right here, and they tried to dismiss me unfairly. And when you know that, when you know you still have to go to court to prove this. You still have to go to a court, a tribunal court, but not the same as a Crown Court, of course. But you still have to fight for your what you believe in, whether you've been misjudged and whatever, and the mistakes have been made. So I can understand what Alex is going through with this particular case over a period of time. But like I say, he's got his day in court, and as I said, things will happen, and we'll get to know the truth. Hopefully, by 12 people will make a judgment on who's in the right and who's in the wrong and whatever. And hopefully that will come out. That's what we have a court system for, to find the truth. And the truth will come out. And like it did with all the other BBC things, you know, what people did in the BBC was just disgraceful. And of course, you know, the Savile thing for a start, and then the Cliff situation, and the Bashir, all these things, you know, are terrible things, you know, to happen. And of course, it happened at the BBC. But like I said, thanks again for everybody who's tuned into the channel and become license free like Inspector C. I'm off now to get myself a nice cool beer. Hope you do the same and have a day out and have a nice day out somewhere. My throat's a bit sore today, and I will look forward to see how this case goes on with my friend Alex, and see what outcomes for the trial. It's a very, very complicated thing. I really hope for the best, that no errors can be made and the right judgment gets made, you know, because it's very, very complex indeed. And hopefully justice will be done. And that's what we want, folks. Anyway, folks, I'm going to leave it there. And I say thanks again for everybody, new people tuning in. Obviously, that's what it's about, just get new people, move on and with things, and sort of hopefully get my message across to people that if you want to be license free, It's quite simple, like Inspector C, very simple. I've done over 500 videos now, 500. But like I said, I keep going because, like I said to you before, it's just getting my message across to people. Just ring up, get your 2-year exemption. 2-year exemption. No letters to your door. No people knocking on the door, because I'm saying I'm coming up to August shortly. August in a few weeks' time. That's coming up to the 9th month. And they've not come knocking. So, you know, they're true to their word. But I imagine any time they will come, maybe if they're in the area, and knock on my door, try and sell me a license. That means people sell me a license, not ask me if I want a license or need a license. They will try and sell me one. I'll just say, no, thank you very much, goodbye, and shut the door. And that's all you need to do. Because one thing you do need, what they do need, these people, is evidence that you're watching television, BBC television live. And that's what they have to prove. Either way, I don't particularly watch anyway, so I've nothing to hide. Like I say, that's why I say I'm not watching, I'm not paying, so I've nothing to worry about. And if they come knocking, I will just say goodbye, thank you very much, goodbye. And that's all you need to do, folks. So anyway, thanks again, and I will see you on the next one. Bye now.